All right. Hey guys, how's it going? It's Joy. I'm back again with another live. Today, you guys, I'm just going to do a quick topic today I wanted to share with you all. But before I do get into it, I just wanted to say welcome to those of you that are new. This channel is called Live Narc Free, where it's all about getting free and staying free after dealing with narcissistic abuse, and also getting free and staying away from toxic, negative, and unhealthy people. All right, so me personally, I've been dealing with narcissists since 2006, and since 2017, I've been helping people heal, move on, recover. I would even, like I said in the previous video, I would say hundreds and thousands of people. I've been sharing my videos, been sharing my advice with my programs, my courses, and my readings. I've been helping people heal, move on, overcome, and move forward in a positive way after dealing with narcissistic abuse. Okay, I thought that out there. So now, you guys, I kind of want to talk a little bit about a topic, as you guys can see it on here. I wanted to talk about actually two topics, but we'll go into the second topic at another time. But this one, I wanted to say to just be mindful that the narcissist will get close to you and then use your weaknesses, or it could be your struggles, or it could be your trials, it could be your tribulations, or maybe it could be your insecurities, or it could be maybe a flaw. They will use that against you. And not only will they use it against you, but they may twist your words. They also could begin to make up false lies. They could start false drama. They can make up stories to make it seem like you're the bad person, or that you're guilty of doing something, when in actuality it's really them. So I just kind of want you guys to just keep that in mind. And the reason why I bring this up is because I understand that some of us, we really did trust the narcissist, whether that narcissist again was our parent. I mean, of course, yeah, we want to trust our parent, but some of us, we have to learn the hard way, is that our parent does not have our back. Our parent does not have our best interests. Our parent is in competition with us. Unfortunately, you would think like family's supposed to work together, not against each other. But and people who have been grown up and groomed in toxic, negative households, they were kind of taught to behave in that manner. And so you just kind of want to be mindful of that when it comes to dealing with, narcissistic families. Thank y'all for the like. I appreciate it. And please feel free when you come in the room, please say hello. And also, let me know where you're from. How are you feeling today? And please chime in on the topic. I would love to know what's your guys' feedback. But yeah, you do just want to be careful when it comes to dealing with narcissistic people. Again, if it's a parent, the parent can definitely use fear, guilt, obligation. They could use, mistakes you have made in the past, things that you messed up on, or, they could use your vulnerabilities against you, or again, maybe you could find as an insecurity, or it could, in your mind, you may feel like, okay, this is a trigger, or it could be an addiction. They may use that against you. Thank y'all for the like. I truly appreciate it. They may definitely use that against you. So, just be aware. And then you also have it to where it could be an in-law. So like a mother-in-law or a father-in-law could use your insecurities against you. It could be a narcissistic friend. It could be a narcissistic associate. Could be a coworker. It could be a boss. You know what I'm saying? And so if you're wondering, okay, so like if this narcissist is getting to know me and maybe they're twisting my words, they're making up false stories, making up lies, twisting words and twisting circumstances, stories, and scenarios. You're like, well, what do I do? Because I'm assuming you're going to want to know. So really, you just have to understand that, this person is just projecting their negativity onto you. This person could be jealous of you. This person could be in competition with you. They may want your energy. They may just be miserable. You know what I'm saying? They may be miserable, and they may be just really unhappy with themselves, and they could just be lashing out onto you. So your job is, you really just want, once you find out what's happening, keep your distance. Don't share personal information with this individual. Stop reacting. Stop responding to this person, because I don't know if you guys know or not, but with narcissists, they live for reactions. They live for the drama. They live for, you getting upset. And when you don't upset, or I said when you don't upset, when you don't react, when you don't get upset, then that's when they show their true colors. So, you really want to behave in a way where you're really allowing them to show you like, hey, it's you and it's not me. So because what the narcissist wants to do, they want to get you to act out of character, you know what I'm saying? So they could be like, oh, look at you, and blame you and point the finger. But you keep that, allow the narcissist to show you, what's really going on. And you don't have to worry about exposing this person to other people, because the narcissist's true colors always comes to the forefront. Or this could be normal people may, I don't know if you guys saw the video where I was talking about how some people will want to get to know you so they can use things against you or twist it and flip it, and stuff like that, or learn your ways. And then they're like, okay, what's her trigger? Or what's his trigger? So then I can try to do it and then get a reaction. So, you have some normal people that are like that. And again, it's just due to people just being unhappy, people being miserable. And it's a sad thing. Unfortunately, you have a lot of people out there like that. And like I said, if you are reaching out to me for any support, just don't waste your time trying to do that, because you're not going to get the reaction that you want. I'm just throwing it out there, so just kind of keep that in mind. But in regards to twisting words, the narcissist will do, even like, for instance, like the mother-in-law, what this person will do is, you come into the family and she may begin to say, he or she may be like, oh, let's go out for lunch, or, oh, let's go out for breakfast, or, oh, let's go on vacation and let's hang out, let's get to know each other. And what they're trying to do is they want to get all the information on all about your personal life. And what they will do, they will share everything about themselves, meaning like they will open up to you about their past and share everything maybe that hurt them or that could have traumatized them. And then in turn, they actually want you to do the same. Now, some people may or may not do it, because some people are unaware that they're dealing with a narcissistic in-law. But if, let's say, you're unaware and you start opening up to this in-law, and then so that in-law is really going to be like, oh, okay, so I see that gets her. Okay, I see that gets him, that makes him upset, or that traumatized him. And so what that in-law is going to do is they're going to use that trauma against you. So for one, they're going to twist it, they're going to flip it, and then they're going to hurt you, disappoint you, or like try to make you sad and upset. And it's because they want to hurt you, because you have to remember that in-law doesn't want you in the family, or if he or she does want you in the family, they want to be able to control you. They want to be able to control your household. They want to be able to control everything about you and your girlfriend or boyfriend, or you and your spouse. And if you don't allow them to have control over you as being the son or daughter-in-law, then they're going to absolutely have full control over their son or daughter, unless that son or daughter can stand up and they are independent. They're not a codependent, which unfortunately most people are codependents. It's just, the reality of it. But if you can learn to become independent and self-reliant and self-sufficient, then that's when you can reclaim your sense of identity and reclaim your sense of self without having to be dependent on the narcissist. So I hope that made sense. The truth. Hey, you said hi. Good morning. Good morning. Yes, you said I'm still in Gambia. Okay, before I go back to Europe, what about the word serenity? I think that's how you said it. Serenity. You said because the narcissists manipulate with the word love. Yeah, that's a good question. The truth. I love that. Let me see something real quick. Hold on. How is it out there in Gambia? The truth. And if you don't mind me asking, when are you heading back to Europe? I bet you had a good time out there in Gambia, no? Right. Okay. So hold on. Let me see something. I hope I said that right. Synergy. Yeah. Synergy. Okay. So it says the interaction, cooperation of two or more organizations, substances, or other agents to produce a combined effect, greater separate effects. Okay, so the synergy between artist and record company. Let's see. Actually, hold on. That kind of rhymed. And synergy is essentially combined action or operation. Okay, hold on. Okay, the combined power of a group of things when they are working together that is greater than the total power achieved by working separately. So, okay, so working together instead of working separately. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, I feel that maybe the narcissist could be like, oh, if we are together, it's better than being separate, or they may be like, oh, well, you can do a lot better with me than you can do by yourself. Or, they're saying like, oh, if we behave in a synergy way, you'll be happier, or, you'll feel more in love, or you'll, be at peace, or whatever the case is. But in actuality, it's really manipulation. So I hope that that answered the question and the truth. Or anybody else watching, if you want to ask me a question, please let me know. I would love to answer it for you. I haven't done like a Q&A in a very long time, so please feel free to ask me anything. So yeah, you guys, just be mindful. And even not even necessarily with the mother-in-law, but even like narcissistic, it could be a troll. You have narcissistic trolls online, or you know, narcissistic coworkers or narcissistic boss. Like, let's say like the job, for instance, like you could have a boss that maybe could be harassing you and bullying you and just nitpicking everything, and so what you want to do again is just make sure you don't react, just do your job, and work there for as long as you need to. But if it's becoming to the point where it's unbearable, don't quit your job, right? You want to at least have something lined up, because if you quit, then things stop. But if you do quit a job, maybe that could be a good thing, because maybe you can start a business, or maybe you can have a side hustle or a side gig, or maybe you can think of some sort of skill or a talent that you can do to kind of help bring in income, but you just want to try your best to really get in the mindset of that, you just really don't care. Like, especially if you're dealing with a narcissist, or even if you're dealing with a toxic person. It's just like, well, you have already shown me you're toxic, or that maybe you feel a different type of way. So why should I care what you have to think? You know what I'm saying? And so essentially it's like you're detaching yourself. It's just like, I mean, if you're not really helping me in any way, well, why should I care? You know what I'm saying? So or even if a person does help you, but then you realize that they was only doing it because, again, because some people can, even let's say if somebody buys a product or buys a service, or somebody gets close to you, what they, like I said, they will try to learn you. Like I said, learn what ticks you off, or learn your triggers, or learn your insecurities, and again, flip it, twist your words to make it seem like you're the bad person. So yeah, just be aware, be mindful, and as I always say, get to know people. But at the end of the day, keep the focus on yourself, keep the focus on God, and keep the focus on, just bettering yourself each day, right? And so that way, when, let's say, the narcissist walks out of your life, or your parent could turn their back on you, or the in-law could make their son or daughter choose them over you, or maybe you have to quit a job, then you won't be so hurt, or you won't be so disappointed or let down, and you'll be like, okay, I see why that happened. I'm happy that it might have hurt, but it's like it happened for me. You see what I'm saying? And I'm a lot better without it. So the truth, you said, yes, I have to go back because of 7 months. Okay, overstaying get me and people in general in trouble. Okay, immigration issues, right? Okay, wow. So you're able to stay in Yemen for 7 months. Wow, long time. You said, I heard on YouTube about synergy, about relationships and synergy in nature. Okay, yeah, that sounds like a good topic. I want to definitely talk more about that. Yeah, and you do just want to be careful, because again, not only do narcissists manipulate, as we all know, but normal people can manipulate too. Absolutely. So some people could just be toxic, because we all know, toxic people and narcissistic people are not the same. But being a narcissist is toxic, but just be toxic doesn't necessarily mean that you're a narcissist, if that makes sense. So that's something completely different. But toxic people or normal people can manipulate a situation, absolutely. And again, they can come into your life, try to get to know you, see what ticks you off, and then try to flip it. Or let's say if you don't do something that they don't like, or maybe you're focused, like you're not, like, because some people want attention. I realize that, like, some people just want attention, and if you're not giving them certain attention, or maybe if you say no one time and then they're just like, oh, because sometimes I think that people may look for you to do something wrong, because some people may look at you and be like, oh, this person does everything right. They never do anything wrong. But then they feel like, no, it has to be something bad on them. So they go looking for it. And if they can't find it, they make stuff up. You know what I'm saying? So you do want to just be careful of people who make things up, that have like false dramas and false, just chaos going on that has nothing to do with you. You just want to be mindful of that. Um, so I hope that made sense. But yeah, just be aware in regards to dealing with the narcissist. And like I said, when they twist your words, just remember that that's not your doing. This is the narcissist trying to get you, whether it's trying to get you to comply, trying to get you to follow along with their tactics. And they're trying to get you to submit, to surrender to them, and to go along with the abuse, and for you to be okay with the abuse. And that's just like, absolutely not. Like, I'm not okay with being abused. You know what I'm saying? And nobody, like, if you're watching this, that's just not something. And again, I'm not telling anybody what to do, but if you want to live in abuse, that's your choice. Because as I always say, we all have free will. Nobody has the right to say, like, oh, if you're living with a narc, or if you have a narc parent, nobody has the right to say, oh, you should move out, or oh, you should go no contact. That individual has to decide that for themselves, right? Because I remember when I lived with my aunt for 5 years, I didn't really think there was a way for me to leave. So I can get that perspective if that person, maybe they feel codependent on the narcissist financially, or they feel that they need the narcissist for emotional support, or they just need to have the narcissist around, maybe as a friend or as a confidant, or whatever the case is. Maybe they could have formed some sort of bond with the narc. Or even, again, if it's a parent, maybe that person could feel fear, guilt, and obligation because maybe that narcissistic parent has put pressure on them to like take care of them for the rest of their lives. Not saying that you can't take care of your parents, but you can't live your life for your parent. And that's sometimes that narcissistic parent wants their children to do, which, me personally, I do believe that is a selfish thing for a parent to do, because that parent was able to live their life. And I guess now, just because the narcissist is so self-absorbed and they have this sense of self-importance, they feel like, oh, well, since I born you and you are an extension of me, then you have to take care of me just because I say so, or just because I've done all this stuff for you. Because we all know that narcissists don't do things out of kindness of their heart. They do things because they want something from you, or they're like holding it against you, like they'll hold it over your head, or it's like a debt. Like, so if they do something for you, then they're like, okay, now you got to do something for me. Now, normal people can do this as well, but not to that extent of a narcissist. So you just kind of want to keep that in mind. You said the truth, but it seems that I love the narcissist female the best. Oh, really? Yeah, honestly, I could be honest and tell you guys, I think that I fell in love with the narcissist many years ago, back in 2014. I would say that I did, but I think it was more so his false persona, of course. And I'm assuming the same thing with you, the truth. Maybe you fell in love with her false persona. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, it happens. We're not perfect. We make mistakes, but it's like, you're not a bad person because you fell in love with a person's false persona. Like, what do they say? We can't help who we love, or we like our heart is like sometimes the heart wants what it wants. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you can't help it. But once you learn, you do better, and to choose better, or maybe you just say, okay, I'm not attracted to that individual anymore. You see what I'm saying? It just doesn't resonate with me. Or that could be friends too, family members. Maybe you realize, like, hey, I'm different from my family. Not saying that you're better than anybody, but you're just like, I don't resonate with this anymore, and I wish you well, but I have to love you from a distance. You see what I'm saying? So anyway, you guys, I hope that was helpful and made sense. Thank you, The Truth, for coming in the room. I truly appreciate you. And thank you for your topics there. Any other topics that you guys want me to do and talk about, please let me know so I can make a video for you. And also, if you are feeling called to, if this video was valuable, helpful, and insightful to you in any way, any form, any shape, any manner, please don't hesitate to leave a donation. It definitely does go to the continuation of these videos. And you guys know whatever you do give, it definitely does come back to you tenfold. So I truly, truly appreciate you all. And what I will do is I'll leave my Cash App. If you guys have Cash App, I'll leave it here in the chat. And then also, if any of you guys have PayPal, I'll leave my email for my PayPal if you would like to leave a donation, whatever, you feel comfortable with leaving. It truly means a lot to me. And I just want to say thank you to those of you that have gotten sessions with me, support sessions, and that have been genuine. You know what I'm saying? Because again, whatever, people do things for whatever reasons, and it is what it is. There's no judgment here, but I do appreciate those of you that have gotten sessions from me that have really wanted to be helped and that have really wanted to be supported. And like I said, don't waste your time trying to get a session with me if you're only going to try to be manipulative or try to get something, learn something about me, and then try to twist it. Don't waste your time, because like I said, you're not going to get the reaction that you want. And unfortunately, you do have people out there that would do that. It's just the truth. Nobody likes to hear it. And I think because, it's on the internet, people can feel comfortable about doing stuff like that, or, whatever the case is. But, don't do that on here. We're all about positivity and, moving forward and stuff like that. So I just wanted to make that clear once again. But yeah, if you would like to book a session with me and you're genuine, you really want to be supported, you really want to be helped, please feel free to do so. And what the sessions are usually basically for those that will either want a listening ear, that want to get support and advice and clarity and guidance on dealing with narcissistic abuse, or just any other mental health insecurity or mental health challenge or mental health concern that you could be dealing with. And maybe it could be where you want to take action, or you want some sort of plan or guidance in regards to how to move on from that insecurity, or move on from that addiction, or move on from, that challenge or obstacle that you're facing right now. And as I always say, if you want to inquire about my 90-day coaching program, what I do with that, I do help former victims and survivors, heal, move on, and recover during that time frame. So it is a 90-day coaching program. So what we do in that 90-day coaching program, so 1 month we focus on, what exactly are you dealing with? So is it insecurities, or is it you're dealing with loneliness or CPTSD, or dealing with isolation, or dealing with codependencies, or whatever particular struggle you have, we'll focus on that. And we'll talk about specifically what you have gone through when it comes to dealing with narcissistic abuse. And then that second month, we'll get that particular insecurity, or that flaw, or that addiction that you're dealing with. We'll kind of focus on that, and then we'll come up with a plan on how you can overcome that, and get the steps, and get like worksheets and things that you can do to help you to move on and move forward from whatever it is that you are going through. You know what I'm saying? And then that last month is when you will take the action based off of the plan that we created that second month, right? Because we had to map out that plan, right? So you can overcome that. So let's say, like, if it's CPTSD, then that 90 days we will focus on overcoming CPTSD. Or if it's overcome narcissistic abuse, we will work on, what the challenge is in the first month. The second month, we'll pick that challenge and we'll overcome that. We'll get the mapping plan. And then that third month, that's when we're going to take action, and we're going to be consistent and persistent. Now, if you run into any pitfalls, any mistakes, we'll say, okay, brush your shoulders off. It's all good. And then we'll get back onto the, the course. Now, if you need longer than 90 days, that's fine too. But this is just kind of like a start. It's like an investment in yourself. You see what I'm saying? So that option is available as well. And I'll link all this below. And just a heads up, I do also have the special, you guys know, going on the buy one, get one offer. So I did have 2 people that got readings from me, and they automatically got a free reading. So that is really good, especially, if you, again, want clarity, support, guidance, and advice. Take advantage of that offer, because it's not going to be around for too long. But also, too, you guys, I do have my unbiased personal advice service as well. And then also my self-study guidebook, the Reclaim Your Life Back, that is available. You can get your copy of that is also. that is linked below. And then also, you guys, I do have some other projects that I am working on. So if you would like to be a part of those projects, and if you're serious people only, okay, you can reach out to me, and my email is in the chat. And like I said, anybody else that's in the room, please feel free to chime in. Any other last minute thoughts or feedback that you want to share, I would love to hear that from you guys. And also, don't forget, you guys, I do have my free Facebook support group. So what I'll do is, if you are in the room, this is gonna be, well, it is a group for former victims and survivors, for those that are healing and recovering and moving on from narcissistic abuse, or just want to feel, supported in any way, and stuff like that, especially maybe if you're feeling isolated or you feel alone. This is definitely going to be a good group for you, because again, we don't judge you, we don't ridicule you, we don't make fun of you, we don't harass you, there's no bullying going on, we don't twist your words and stuff like that. So it is a safe space, for those that want the support. So it is available. So I'll put it here. And don't forget to, you guys, on my website, I have my website right here. Make sure that you do sign up on the email list, so that way you don't miss any updates that we have going on here. So I'll put that in the chat as well. But other than that, you guys, that's it. I hope that this was a helpful topic for you all, to not get too wrapped up in the narcissist, due to the fact of them twisting your words, twisting your insecurities, or using your weaknesses against you, or using your flaws against you. Now, the last thing I want to say is, for some of you, you may be like, well, what if I don't know that they're a narcissist? How do I be able to combat that or work through that? I feel like, you really just want to get to the point where, you can listen to your intuition, you can listen to your gut, and then, you pay attention to what they're saying to you and how they make you feel, and really just trust that intuitive gut knowing and that feeling that something is off, or like, hey, I'm in danger, or maybe I should not say this to this person, or I shouldn't go hang out with that person, or this job is not the right one for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, trusting your gut, and even too, getting advice as well. Like I always say, there's nothing wrong with getting advice. You know what I'm saying? And so you kind of just want to be mindful in that regards. But a lot of times, the unfortunate part is I didn't realize that I was dealing with a narcissist until after the fact. So I was like pretty much done talking to him to a certain degree. And what I started doing is, I used to type up the words and phrases that he would say to me. I typed it up on my phone. And then when I looked down on my phone, it said NPD, and it said narcissistic personality disorder. And so I said to myself, I was like, oh, so he had a personality disorder. And so that's how I kind of figured it out. But I'm not going to lie to you guys. Like, I do feel like, there were signs, and my gut was kind of telling me like something is off. But, I guess like if you're quote unquote in love with their false persona, and you want to make things work, you don't want to start over, you don't want to be alone, stuff like that, then you may tend to ignore things, whether it's either if it's out of love, or you just like, you want to give them a chance, you want to make it work. You know what I'm saying? And so you may ignore your gut feeling, you may ignore your intuition, and you may ignore the red flags, and so it's just being aware of that. So hopefully that made sense. You said how to start from scratch, if I pronounced that good, after the narcissist, about homeless, mental damage, and let go. Also, how to get your life back on track. Okay, those are definitely good topics for sure. But, starting from scratch is, really just getting your mind right, and staying away from these individuals, and really doing that inner healing, and the inner grief, whether it's grieving, it's crying, is talking to someone about it, like talking to someone like myself, like a coach, a narcissist abuse coach, and finding out what made you so attracted to the narcissist. What was it? You know what I'm saying? And then also, what are some weaknesses for you? What are some flaws for you? So that way you can know more about yourself. So that way you're not attracted to that type of individual again in the future. So that way you're not repeating negative relationships. You see what I'm saying? And so, but putting the focus back on yourself, and again, meaning being by yourself, not feeling like you have to be with another individual. I mean, if you want to talk to somebody else or entertain somebody else, that's totally fine. But at the end of the day, you just want to make sure the intention is right. So again, I'm not judging anybody, because I mean, me personally, I know when I stopped dealing with the narcissist, I was alone, and I didn't talk to anybody. I would say for like a good 6 months. After that 6 months frame, I did kind of dibble and dabble and date folks, but it wasn't really serious, honestly. Like, I was literally by myself. And I think when you can be by yourself without maybe having a distraction, or maybe without having, attention from other people, or having, I think this one guy in the YouTube, he says like a painkiller, like, because you're trying to ease the pain, you're trying to ease the hurt that you could be feeling, you're trying to ease the heartbreak, or ease the disappointment, or ease the sadness from another individual, that you could be missing from the narcissist. And you could start talking to somebody else thinking that's going to heal you. But actually, the only person that can heal you is yourself and God. That's it. And so once you kind of come to that realization, then that's when you can, begin on your journey. And that's how you can begin to start from scratch. And then also learning about being independent and being self-sufficient and self-reliant. So I hope that made sense. But yeah, on the couch therapy, many could be smitten by the love bombing from the narcissist. Yes, absolutely. Yes, Shakira, hey. So you guys, on the couch therapy, make sure you guys follow her. Her and I, we did a podcast. What was that? Friday? I think it was Friday. And it was awesome. It's going to be coming out very soon. So make sure you guys follow her on the couch therapy. She's amazing. Her name is Shakira. So, but yeah, you guys, I hope that was helpful. Yeah, the love bombing gets a lot of people. And I can admit, you guys, it got me too. I'm not going to lie. And that, as I always tell you guys, I'm always as honest as possible on this channel, because I don't know, I just feel like transparency is key. But and I think that is a part of the narcissist tactic, is the love bombing phase of it all. Because, they're so sweet to you. They're so nice. They're caring. They're loving. And they want you to trust them. You let your guard down. And you're just like, oh, my God, like, I found the one. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're like, I found the love of my life. I want to get married to this person. I want to have kids by this person. You know what I'm saying? And you're like, no one has ever shown me this much attention in my life. No one has ever treated me this way. You know what I'm saying? No one has ever romanced me this way or made me feel this way. In actuality, the narcissist is just an actor, unfortunately, So yeah, you want to be careful. And as I always say, you guys, the key to not getting love bombed is to take your time with people, get to know people, be their friend first. If they're not a good friend, then they're not going to be a good romantic partner. Okay. And I think a lot of people like to rush into relationships due to whether it's loneliness or desperation or just needing that attention from someone, or just not wanting to be alone. Because like I said, when you're alone, you can focus on yourself, you can hear from God, and you can get your life back on track. You can start to say, okay, so what do I need to do right now? What's my biggest priority? What's the biggest thing that I need to focus on right now so I can improve myself? You see what I'm saying? And so yeah. And again, working like kind of like what the truth said, the mental damage, like you really have to reprogram your mind to think better about yourself. Because when you're dealing with a narcissist, they will kill like your spirit. They will break you down and break your confidence down, break your self-esteem down. So you have to rebuild that back up, and that starts with, you got to try like new stuff. Like you have to become like a kid again. You know what I'm saying? Like kids are curious. You have to become curious. You're like, okay, let me try this. Let me try this activity. Let me try this hobby. Let me do this. Let me try that. You know what I'm saying? And so then what you may find that, oh, I'm good at this. I'm good at that, and then that's when you can start to rebuild yourself back up. Rebuild your sense of self-worth, your self-esteem, and your confidence back up slowly but surely, So yeah, you guys, that's basically that. I hope that made sense. I really appreciate you all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Please make sure that you guys do subscribe, visit my website, join my free Facebook support group, and any products or services, please reach out to me. Any support sessions for those that want to be helped, because like I said, I don't want to help nobody that does not want to be helped. right? Serious people only. Okay. So yeah, I love you guys. Until the next time. Take care. Bye.